Hello, my beautiful people out there. Hello, hello, voices in my head. We are here once again in middle of the week. Quite a nice night, I'm gonna lie. I just ate a triple with bacon and some nuggets, 4 pieces. We are not in America. There are reasonable amounts, but back to the main topic. We are gonna be drinking what is called a Smirnoff Ice Black vodka mixed drink with classic lemon flavor with a alcohol percent of 7.0, 350 milliliters. That's in that's not in freedom units, but whatever. Also, we're gonna be talking about this beautiful book, The Stranger by Albert Camus. A masterpiece. But first of all, let me show you is this beautiful Spanish copy of The Stranger. Basically, El Extranjero is the title in Spanish. This this edition is a hard. How do you call this hard? It's something with hard. It's basically it's not paper. It's like it is strong, but it have a dust cover. Quite normal. Not that great. But look at this. I like it a lot. It is beautiful. The Stranger by Albert Camus with a beautiful quote back here in the back that says, monjas, well, in Spanish says, mamá se ha muerto hoy, o puede que ayer, no lo sé. Is that phrase, if you have read the book, is the phrase at the start of the book, the monk have died today, or maybe yesterday, I don't know. That's a rough translation. Do it by me right now. I have never read the English version, so I cannot know if I was correct. But that's you get the point. You understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that while drinking an alcoholic beverage because I'm craving some alcohol. Because it has been quite a hard week. Not gonna lie. And if you was, I'm listening right now to Lord in my headphones. So quite a good mood, not gonna lie. So let's get started and open this. Um, I used to like Smirnoff Black a lot back when I was like 19 or something like that. The basically the moment that I was able to legally drink, I started with well, let me tell you a story. My first alcoholic beverage was a Four Loco back in 2016, something like that. My first exposure to alcohol was a Four Loco. Let that sink. And let me tell you, it tastes like heaven. And nowadays I drink a Four Loco. It keep tasting like heaven. Jesus Christ. But I don't suggest that drink at all. But whatever. Back to what I was saying. Later on in life, back, I reached 19 and I started going out more because 18 is the legal, how can I say, the legal age in which you can buy alcoholic beverage here. So whatever. My go-to alcoholic beverage was this one, the Smirnoff Ice Black, and I really like it. But before COVID, I don't know, something happened, and I drink too much of this, and I ended up like not liking that much. But let's try, because I changed this for the red one. That is good. It is a really nice alcoholic beverage, but it's not the same. Has less alcohol, if I'm not mistaken, less alcohol percentage, if I'm not mistaken, that the black, and the black has does give you that pause. Only with one can like this is enough. Well, let's give it a sip. It's like having a hit of nostalgia. Tastes like shit. I mean, this has lemon. I cannot feel it, but whatever. Alcohol is alcohol, and it is welcome. Nice, nice. So yeah, about the stranger. This book is it is incredible. I'm pretty sure that you have seen a lot of people talking about the stranger in Instagram and TikTok. Um, I don't blame them because it's a short book, a really good book, um, and a book that is not a hard read. It's not like the one that I was explaining yesterday that was Note from the Underground. The Stranger is from beginning to end beautiful. The storytelling is it's not something that is heavy to digest. Um, and it's you read the first page and you're hooked. You just wanna keep reading and reading and reading. And this is a book that is no longer that 119 pages, something like that. Yes, 119 pages. So it's really short. You can read this in a single hit. This is the right expression. But yeah, you can read The Stranger in a day. And to the topic of the book, the main character here that right now I don't remember the name. Let me see if I'm able to. I don't know. See if I see the name around here. No, I don't remember. I don't remember the name. But whatever. This book is about a person that received the message that his mom had has passed away. So he has to go to the funeral. Um, the way that he received that news is quite unsettling because basically he didn't show any emotion by receiving that notice, by receiving that letter that said that his mom passed away. Something that for some of you might be normal, for others might that's considered a sin. Those who are really close to their mom, because losing your mom is one of, I can say, the top things in life that will hurt you the most, depending on your family relation. But I'm talking nonsense here. But whatever. He received the news, and he basically didn't care. That's like the first introduction to the main character personality. That is someone that don't cares at all about basically anything. Everything is irrelevant to him. So this guy goes to the funeral. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, he said that he didn't want to, but don't quote me on that. I might be having a blurry memory. But yeah, he goes to the funeral, and basically his mom was staying in these houses that the old people stay. I don't remember the word for that. But yeah, every single person there that talks to him is kinda unsettled by his irrelevance, his show of no emotion towards his mom passing. Well, the history goes, and we came to the funeral, and that's the first thing that caught my attention. That in this book, every single time that a major event happened, he's complaining about the sun, about the heat, about not complaining but talking about the feeling of the sun, how the weather, basically talking about the weather. That's something that I noticed and caught my attention because I mean I live in a country that it gets hot. Yeah, when it is hot, you pay attention to that. But if you're in a funeral, something like that, that's the last thing that pass through your mind. So it caught my attention. That I mean, he basically showed no emotion towards anything. Didn't care about the news that he just received, but he cared about the weather. That was, as I said before, caught my attention, and and we're gonna discuss that later. Well, yeah. Oh, this is nice. So the funeral happened, and he goes back to his house. That is, and the story keeps going. He met a lady, someone that he already knew from before. He just says to himself, "Hey, let me tell this yell that I like her." So he goes and reads the lady up, and he basically starts a relationship. Throughout the book, this relationship is weird because all he does in this relationship is agreeing with what the lady asks, basically. If she asks for Mary, he agrees. If the lady asks for something, he agrees. So I think that's what that's a good example of a good relationship. I'm joking here. I mean, it's just one way relationship, but whatever. Um, we I haven't talked a lot about his neighbors because his neighbors have quite an impact in his life. Um, there is one that is a pimp, basically, that he ended up having like a good relationship with this neighbor, basically becoming friends. And the story keeps going, and he starts going like in a little friends reunions to the beach with his friend and all of that. And his pimp friend basically tells him that he have an issue with some what we call in Spanish moros. Um, his friend tells him that if something goes down, don't worry about it, just fight, and give him a pistol. And right here, I'm skipping a lot of things that have happened in the book, but I'm just giving you like a little resume, a little short telling of the things that happen in this book. His neighbor gave him a pistol. His neighbor told him, "Hey, get back. Don't participate in this fight that is going to happen. Just watch if someone is trying to be funny or trying to be smart about it. You know, bling bling, use that, but don't worry about it." So the fight happened. He didn't use the weapon at all. The pimp basically won the fight. The others, the mortals, get like mad about it, but they walk away. Later that day, the main character says something about the sun once again. He complains about the weather that is hot, and he's walking towards. I don't remember why he was walking away from his girlfriend and the pimp, but he was walking away, and he sees a enemy right there. The guy that just fought his friend, and he sees him getting close, and all he thinks is about the sun, the uncomfortable that he feels right now with the weather, and that if the guy gets close, he's basically gonna shoot him. Well, that happened. He kills the guy, and that's it. That day ends there. And now that I think about it, I think that the friend didn't want the fight. I think he lost the fight because I remember something that the friend was really mad and went walking alone, and that's when the main character followed him, and the friend gave him the gun. So I might be mistaken there. The depends of the book, but whatever. This is just analysis. This is just me remembering out of my head what happened. I might be wrong, but yeah, what I am 100% sure is that he killed the guy. He did it. My boy is charging some bodies on him. Yeah, you know what happened when you kill someone? You get arrested. He gets put in jail. Of course, a lot of things happen before this, but he gets put in jail. Put in jail. Um, while he's there, he didn't care at all. But throughout the whole book, he didn't care about anything about killing the guy. About he only cared about the sun, basically, about the weather. Oh, how hot was that day? Yeah, he was in jail and he gets his sentence. Guess what? My boy is facing that penalty, RRP. But as I said before, he's a savage. He didn't care at all about anything. He shows like, "Eh, eh." That's what he said basically. Am I going to die? And here's the book, just his irrelevance towards that's coming. He have like a big argument with with a religious guy. I don't remember. Father is what is called in English. I guess not, but someone that preach, a preacher, a preacher. That there you have. My mind is not that bad. A preacher, and he have a argument about that because the preacher want him to basically ask for forgiveness, not to him but to God. You know, religion stuff. Um, he didn't did. He, as I said before, he didn't care, and he was having that conversation with the preacher, and the preacher all that wanted was him to shows like haunting emotions towards that sentence, because the preacher that have in mind that this preacher have talked with a lot of people that have the same penalty, and all of them have shown him like they are feeling bad about their destiny. But this specific person is not showing any feeling. And yeah, the book keeps going on. Our main character have quite a not a meltdown, but he basically spent a lot of days watching the sky in the jail, and he does a lot of deep thinking there. Here and there, he thinks about his lovely lady, about the mayor, about everything that was happening with her. But as I said before, he ended up always saying like basically, he didn't care at all. So the day come, he gets his sentence. And something that is funny is that throughout the trial, people bring. Let's remember that he's there because he killed someone. That's totally normal. But a lot of people, basically the opposite, that is trying to get him killed. Basically, the other lawyer, he brings the topic about his mother, that he shows like literally no feelings towards his mother passing. And that was funny for me because this trial is about a murder, not about his mother. But they keep bringing that up to basically show the judge that this guy is insane. But it was funny to me because it had no relevance with the murder. They didn't talk a lot about the murder actually. Now that I trying to remember, they didn't talk a lot about the murder. They talked more about the fact that he didn't care at all about his mother passing, or basically that he didn't show any emotion towards his mother funeral and passing. And that was funny to me because basically what was making the decision in his sentence, in he losing his life, was not the murder that he committed, but his reaction towards the passing of a family member. And I know that there is a whole deep analysis there. A lot of people smarter than me, pretty sure that have like a 10 pages explanation about that. But yeah, back to the book. He gets sentenced to that, and the day comes. If I know mistaken, he complains about the weather. That is a sunny day, but in his passing, he keeps showing like no emotion at all, no remorse, not anything about. Basically, he's like, happy to be killed, to be to basically in at the end of his life. But yeah, that this book is insane. I like it a lot. I read it in like 2 days. My explanation is really bad about the book. It's I am 100% sure. So go ahead and read it. It is beautiful. And I noticed that here in the camera, you can see there. Oh, there. I'm really bad on this. There. That's 1984. I'm reading that right now. Nice book. That's another book that hooked me from the first page. Since I read the first page, I started like yesterday. But whatever. Back to the Stranger. This is a book by Albert Camus. If you want to read about Albert Camus, go ahead, do it. A lot of people also read the Myth of Sisyphus. It's totally different. If as far as my understanding goes, the Myth of Sisyphus is it's like a story that it's basically him talking about characters of other books and their philosophy. The Myth of Sisyphus Ouch, what the fuck? Because Sisyphus talks a lot about life, basically, about killing yourself and all of that thing, but in a philosophical way. It's really good if you want to read about if you want to read something about philosophy, but we are not talking about the middle Sisyphus. We are talking about the stranger. The stranger is, I don't know if this falls under the novel uh, category, but it's a short history about someone. It's a short telling about a person that basically didn't care at all about anything. Basically, my boy doesn't give a fuck about anything. If someone tell him go pop that guy, he does that. But yeah, that's Albert Camus, The Stranger. I 100% suggest this book. I know, a lot of people might say that's so performative. That's the most common book about Camus. Let me be a little bit different. Read, I don't know, other book about other things. It's better read this book about an author that no one's knows rather than The Stranger by Camus. Fuck that person. Go read The Stranger. It is great. It is short. It is great. And you're gonna love it. I know that. I didn't make justice to the book with my shitty explanation and my shitty perception of the book and what I remember about it. I read it quite a long time ago, and I'm drinking. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Maybe I'll be talking about Jane Eyre next, and then I don't know. I wanna be talking about movies or something like that. I'm enjoying this, but yeah, picture for the thumbnail. There you have. I hate alcohol, but it tastes so good. I'm not condemning, neither promoting the consumption of alcohol. So don't get the wrong idea from me. And that's it. I'm gonna leave it there. Bye bye. I need to sleep because it is late tomorrow. I have to work. But another day, another suffering, I guess. Whatever. Bye bye. Have a nice day.